Hello, Mingalaba Dhamma class. My name is Thazan Jo and my Buddhist name is Jana Bali, which means part of concentration. Today I will be your presenter for part 1 of this Dhamma class. Today's Dhamma class is on Sunday, April 6, 2025. We meet every Sunday at 4 o'clock p.m. Arizona and Pacific Time. Anyone interested in Buddhist teachings is welcome to join us on Zoom. UCID 413-460-4622 and the password Buddha20, all lowercase. Remember, the Zoom ID and password will stay the same every week. In today's Dhamma class, we will learn about Part 1a, Buddha Gamanagata, Mahakarunagata, offerings, taking the Tisarana and precepts, the Metta chant, and meditation. Part 1b, Adhitthana, determination, mindfulness on death, wishing, and sharing. Part 2, Parita chanting, discussions, questions and answers, translations from the prayer book, and a few metta meditation questions. Today's substitute will be Hinle'au. So Hinle'au, please have your prayer books in the correct pages ready and close by. Before we begin, here are some important rules and regulations. If you're reading a substitution or participating in Part 1A, please try to join the Zoom meeting at least 5 minutes early. Please do not eat or drink during the prayer time, as it is very disrespectful. If you're hungry, make sure to eat before joining the meeting next times. Sit up straight and center yourself in front of your camera. Keep your camera on at all times, or you may be removed from the meeting. If you're not a part of the Dhamma class, you're free to turn off your camera. Please don't fidget or play around, as it can disturb others who are praying. The prayer session is only 15 minutes, so please be mindful and respectful. For those chanting, please chant clearly and slowly so that others can follow along. We would greatly appreciate it if everyone stays respectfully until the end of the meeting. Now, please put your hands together. We'll begin with puja, the offerings. We believe you'll do great.
Buddha Gamanagata Angira Sasa Unaya Tatahi Setarasio Wadirawa Virajanti Tinametadu Sisake Nilayo Nilatanama Pito Dada Cha Lohida Dhamma cha manjita nikamim shubabasara. One more time. Alawakagata yo so aham vijavisami kama kamam bua bua namasamano Sambuddha Dhammasa Jasudamatam Etana Sajawajena Soti Mehotu Sabada Soti Dehotu Sabada. Valentine. Gana Sarapa Didena Dibena Tamat Damsina Dilukat dan Buddha Sambuddham Pujayami Dhamonudam Vana Ganda Kuno Bedam Idam Kusuma Sastate Pujayami Manutasa Saripada Sarohe
Diwasitu no bende Baniam Berka Bedam Anokambam Upadaya Batigana Tuotumam Adiwasitu no bende Bojanam Berka Bedam Anokambam Upadaya Batigana Tuotumam Valentine.
Ogata Kayakan Wasikan Manokan Tapatota Katendo Apietoko Piapasechin Ajonga Patama Dutia Tatia Jane Dojem Yaong Pia Yatana Tia Yatana Danga Yatana Yatong Madoko Ayo Ate Ale Mia Lesu moye shiko puzo pumo mancho gadoba I ashempia gadoba gadoya to ajo ajang apeleba กับตงปะยาเปเชปะยันดุมยองะปะวิปติตยาเลปะปยาตนาติยังะปะToma akakating kinluk nyingi puye mataya potaya nepantaya damya koya balo I ashempia bawantime. Aham bende tisarane nasaha Nanga sampana gatem upo sata silem demem yatami anukaham kadwa silem data me bende Dudiyampi aham bende tisarane nasaha Nanga sampana gatem upo sata silem demem yatami anukaham kadwa Silem data me bende, Tetyampi aham bende, Tisarane nasaha, Nanga sampana gatem, Upo sata silem, Remem yatami anugraham kedwa, Silem data me bende, ama bende. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Sangam Saranam Gacchami. Dutiyampi Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Dutiyampi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Dutiyampi Sangam Saranam Gacchami. Tatiampi Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Tatiampi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Tatiampi Sangam Saranam Gacchami. Amabende.
Dhanati pada veramani sikkhabada samadhiyami adina dana veramani sikkhabada samadhiyami Abrahmacharya Veramani Sikkhabada Samadhiyami Musavada Veramani Sikkhabada Samadhiyami Suramiraya Majjapamata Thana Veramani Sikkhabada Samadhiyami Vigala Bhujana Veramani Sikkhabada Samadhiyami Nachakita Wadita Visuka Dasana Malaganta Vilebana Dharana Madana Vibhusana Dana Veramani Sikkhabada Samadhiyami Uchasayana Mahasayana Veramani Sikkhabada Samadhiyami Metta Sahagadena Jedasa Sababana Buddhasa Bharitva Viharana Samadhiyami. I'm a bit wrong one time. Itipisa Bhagava Araham Sammasambuddho Vijacharana Sampano Sugato Lokavidu Anantara Purisa Dhamma Sarathi Satha Deva Manusanam Buddha Bhagava
Swagato Bhagavato Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ahipasiko Opanayiko Vachadam Vadidabo Vunuhi
Supatipano Bhagavato Sawaka Sangha Ujupatipano Bhagavato Sawaka Sangha Nyayapatipano Bhagavato Sawaka Sangha Samiji Patipano Bhagavato Sawaka Sangha Yadidam Chattari Purisa Yugani Atha Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Sauka Sangha Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakineyo Angelikaraniyo Anutram Punyakhatam Lokasa. By one time. Aham Vero Homi Abhya Bhajo
homi, anigo, homi, sukyatanam pariharami. Mama mata pitu, acharya cha, nyatimita cha, sabramacharino cha. Awera hontu, abhyapacha hontu, aniga hontu, sukyatanam pariharantu. Amagam araka dewata, ima samim awase, ima samim arame, araka dewata, awera hontu, abhyapaja hontu, aniga hontu, sukyatanam pariharantu.
Sabe sata, sabe bana, sabe Buddha, sabe Burava, sabe atapawa pariyapana, saba itiyo, sabe puisa, sabe ariya, sabe anariya, sabe dewa, sabe manusa, sabe winipatika. Awera hontu, abhyapaja hontu, aninga hontu, sukyatanam pariharantu, dukkha muchantu, yada lada sampatito mawikajantu, kamasaka.
Purati Maya Disaya, Dakinaya Disaya, Vaji Maya Disaya, Udaraya Disaya, Purati Maya Anudisaya, Dakinaya Anudisaya, Vaji Maya Anudisaya, Udaraya Anudisaya, Edi Maya Disaya, Upari Maya Disaya.
Sabe sata, sabe bana, sabe Buddha, sabe Bogala, sabe atapawa pariyapana. Saba itiyo, sabe parisa, sabe ariya, sabe anariya, sabe dewa, sabe manusa, sabe rinipatika, awera hontu, abhyapacha hontu, anika hontu, sukyatana pariharantu, dukkha muchantu, yadalada sampatito, mawikachantu, kamasaka.
Udam yawa oaga cha, hado yawa awi jito, samanta chaka walesu, ye sata padawi jara, abya baja niraja, niduga cha, nupadawa. Udam yawa oaga cha, hado yawa awi jito, samanta chaka walesu ye sata udake jara abya baja niraraja niruka ja nubadawa udam yawa oaga ja hado yawa awi jito samanta chaka walesu ye sata akase jara abya baja niraraja niruka nubadawa sadhu sadhu sadhu. Bow on time.
Now we will learn how to meditate by Chloe, Gama Bali, Valerie, May Thun, and Sumyape.
Hello, Manglaba. My name is Chloe Chang, and my Buddhist name is Siddhi Bali, which means keeper of wisdom. I will be saying, what is meditation? What is meditation? Meditation is a way to keep the mind cool and calm by concentrating on one object. There are many ways to meditate. In our Dhamma class, primarily we study Anapanasati and body scanning meditation. In Anapanasati, a natural focus is your own breath, which is always with you. If you simply keep feeling the breath as it comes in and as it goes out, the mind gets quieter and more peaceful. In body scanning meditation, you scan your whole body from head to toe, from the front and the back. The only trouble is, something will always take your attention away. Maybe a noise or a pain in the knee, but often your own mind is the problem. It is so full of useless stuff, like a monkey jumping here and there. It is so hard to control. To become the master of your mind, you need some lessons, enough time, and a good place to learn how to practice. With enough practice, meditation helps to replace bad thoughts and feelings with happiness.
Guide 2. Why do we meditate? By learning how to control the mind, we start to get rid of negative habits and develop good mental qualities instead. If your mind is full, you make good decisions, you don't get confused, you make less mistakes, you don't get angry or feel afraid, and you become more confident. If your mind is calm, you become peaceful and happy, you are less worried and frustrated. You don't get stressed about work or exams. You develop compassion and kindness, and you have more harmonious relationships. If your mind is concentrated, you get less distracted by useless things. You find it easier to focus and learn. You perform better in sports and games. You make better music and art, and you will be more trustworthy.
What is different between Samatha and Vipassana meditation? Samatha meditation and Vipassana meditation are two different types of meditation. Samatha aims at achieving deep concentration, while Vipassana aims at understanding both the body and mind. In Samatha meditation, the focus is solely on one object to attain deep concentration, such as by fixing the mind on a single point. In contrast, Vipassana meditation involves observing various mental and physical processes as they occur. During samatha meditation, when the mind wanders, we bring it back to the chosen object. However, in Vipassana meditation, when the mind wanders, we observe it without trying to control it. Only when the distraction fades, we return our focus to the primary object. These differences in focus and approach distinguish the two types of meditation. We are going to practice guided muscle relaxation meditation. Before we begin, please straighten your body, center yourself in the middle of your camera, put your hands together with the right on top of the left with your thumbs connected, and place them in your lap. Then close your eyes. Step 1. When I say a group of muscles, focus on the group of muscles you hear and feel the tenseness in them. Step 2. Mentally relax those group of muscles. Step 3. Feel those muscles completely relaxed. Let's start. Your scalp muscles, all the muscles on your head are relaxed. Your forehead and eyebrows are relaxed. Your eyes, ears, nose, lips, and chin are relaxed. Your neck and shoulders are relaxed. Your arms, forearms, wrists, hands, and fingers are relaxed.
Your chest and upper back are relaxed. Your abdomen and lower back are relaxed. Your hips and thighs are relaxed. Your knees and legs are relaxed. Your ankles, feet, and toes are relaxed. Now your whole body from head to toe fully relaxed.
We are now going to advance to Anapanasati meditation. You are going to focus on your breath. When you breathe in, a puff of air touches the tip of your nose. Make yourself aware of the touch. When you breathe out, a slightly warmer puff of air touches the tip of your nose. Make yourself aware of the touch. We are going to practice counting technique with each cycle of in-breath and out-breath. You will count from 1 to 8 and do not let your mind wander. If your mind wanders out, start counting from 1 again. We are first going to practice together. Breathe in, aware of the touch, breathe out, aware of the touch. 1. Breathe in, aware of the touch, breathe out, aware of the touch. 2. Breathe in, aware of the touch, breathe out, aware of the touch. 3. Breathe in, aware of the touch, breathe out, aware of the touch. 4. Breathe in, aware of the touch, breathe out, aware of the touch. 5. Breathe in, aware of the touch, breathe out, aware of the touch. 6. Breathe in, aware of the touch, breathe out, aware of the touch. 7. Breathe in, aware of the touch, breathe out, aware of the touch. 8. Now go back to 1, start counting on your own, and focus. We are now done meditating.
Dukkha bhatta ja ni dukkha
Baya pataja ni baya, soka pataja ni soka, hantu sabebi bani no.
Nahi were na werani, samanti da kuda janam, awere na ja samanti, esa demo sanantano.
Sabab basa akaranam kusalasa upasan pada sajita pariyodapanam idam buddhana sasanam.
Marana me duam, jivita me aduam, ida me ponyam, devana sa pachayohotu. Imam Punyabhagam Sabhasatanam Pajama Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. One time.
We're now moving on to part 2 of the Dhamma class, and again, please do not eat anything. However, drinking water is now fine. So we'll be moving on to program number 1, which is chant of Mahajaya Mangala Gata by Helen Ong, Bia Bula, Linlin, Danzin, Tiffany, Shintha, Kama Bali, Marinda, Shinking, Kishing, Amara, Malin, and Mate.
Mahajaya Mangala Gata Bahum Sahasa Mabinimita Sayudantam Giri Mekalam Udita Goram Sasenamaram Dana Didama Widina Jitawa Munindo Dam te jasa bhavatu te jaya mangalani.
Marati reka mabiyujita sabaratim korambana lawaka maka madadayakam kanti sudanta widina jidawa munindo dam dejasa bhavatu te jaya mangalani.
Nalagirim Gajawaram Atimata Bhutam Tawagi Jaka Masaniwa Sudarunantam Matambu Saka Witina Jitawa Munendo Tam Tejasa Bawatu Te Jaya Mangalani. Nalagirim Gajawaram Akita gaga mabihata sadarunantam dawam tiojana patangguli malawantam itipi sangkata mano jitawa munendo tam tejasa bawatu te jaya mangalani.
Katwana Kata Mutaram Iwa Gabiniya Jinjaya Dutawajanam Janakaya Maje Santena Soma Vidina Chitwa Munindo Tam Tejasa Bhavatu Te Jaya Mangalani.
Sacham Vihaya Ati Sachaka Wadagetun Wadabiro Pitamanam Ati Anda Budam Panya Padipa Jalito Jitawa Munindo Dam Te Jasa Bhavatu Te Jaya Mangalani.
Nanda Bananda Pushakam Vivijan Mahitim Bhujanatara Bhujagena Dhammapayanto Idu Pradesa Vidina Chitawa Munendo Tante Jasa Poatute Jaya Mangalani
Dugaha Didi Bhujagena Sadadahadam Brahma Visuddhi Juti Mahidi Bhagavidanam Yana Gadena Vidina Chitawa Munindo Dam Tejasa Bhavatude Jaya Mangalani
Etapi Bhuta Jaya Mangala Atagata Yowa Jako Dine Dine Sarante Matanti Hidwananeka Wiwidani Jupatawani Mokam Sukam Adikameya Narosa Panyo Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Bow one time.
Amara, it is your turn.
Tiwa Tapati Kata, Tiwa Tapati Aticho, Rati Mabati Chantima, Sanato Katio Tapati, Jai Tapati Brahmano, Ata Sapa Mohora Tempudo Tapati Tejasa, Tajasam Tejasampanam, Buddha Mondami Santaram. Jaya Raya Sabati Dukalam Kalam Bawanawa Tigama Magatam Gatam Tiloganatam Susama Hitam Samanta Jakum Panamami Damidam.
Mate, it is your turn.
Yojino Aneka Jatiyam Sabutadara Magaji Vitambi Buddhi Bemado Alaka Manasa Adasiyewa Adika Sadado Para Aburi Shila Bara Mati Kampi Dasamidio Paya Damagada Damekati Baka Namami.
We are now moving on to program number 2, which is Basic Buddhism, first by Valerie and Maithun, then by Andrew Riley and Alexander, then by Sarah Shinki and Bia Balat, then by Juju and Hazel, then by Smia Pitt and Minta Joel, then by Tiffany, Shintha, and Noel, and then by Chloe, Xingling, and Mason D, and lastly by the Zinjo, Su Al, and Hilal.
Hello, Mingalaba. My name is Valerie Chow, and my Buddhist name is Dhanapali, which means the keeper of charity. Today, my dear Dhamma friend Maithun will be joining me today. So Maithun, please introduce yourself.
Hello, Minglaba. My name is Maithun, and my Buddhist name is Charupali, which means keeper of beauty. I live in Toronto, Canada. Valerie, what will we be talking about today?
We will be talking about Kama, our true parents. So I'll start first. Kama, our true parents. Kama means the actions we do, and these actions shape our future, like our next life, our family, and even our physical appearance. Let's imagine two people. One person does good deeds with kindness and understanding. The other person does little good, or if they do, they don't do it happily.
When they are reborn, The first person might be born into a wealthy family with loving parents who take good care of them. The second person might be born into a poor family where life is harder even before birth. As they grow, their lives continue to be different. One enjoys comfort, love, and education, while the other faces struggles and challenges.
This shows how our actions today shape our future. Just like a farmer plants good seed to grow healthy crops, we should do good deeds to create a bright future for ourselves. Now we will be asking questions. So Maythun, please ask your first question.
So my first question is to Diri Sam. So Diri Sam, what is Gamma?
Dhamma is the actions we do that shape our future.
That's correct. Valerie, could you please ask your next question?
My next question is to Grace. Grace, how does good karma affect rebirth?
It can lead to a better life with loving parents and comfort.
That is correct. Maythun, please ask your next question.
So Diri Sam, what happens if someone does little good?
They might be born into a harder life with more struggles.
That's correct. Valerie, could you please ask your last question?
My last question is to Grace again. What is the lesson of karma?
Our actions today create our future happiness or suffering.
That is correct. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for watching.
It is now Andrew, Riley, and Alexander's turn.
Hello, Dhamma class. My name is Andrew. My Buddhist name is Dhamma, which means the power of truth. And today I'll be sharing something with my dear Dhamma friends, Alexander and Riley. So, Riley, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, Dhamma class. My name is Riley, and my Buddhist name is Samosada, which means medicine of truth. Alexander, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, Dhamma class. My name is Alexander. My Buddhist name is Ujuba, which means power of honesty. So, Andrew, what will we be talking about today?
Today we'll be talking about how rebirth happens. So, I'll start. When a person dies, a new life starts right away, without any gap. This new life can be in any place, heaven, earth, or even a different place like two wrong ideas about rebirth. The soul moves. Some that the soul moves to a new body. This isn't true because there's an eternal soul. Everything disappears. Others think everything about a person is gone forever and a new life starts from scratch. This isn't true either because our past actions shape our next life.
The right understanding. Rebirth happens because of three things: ignorance, not knowing the truth about life; desire, wanting to live again; and action, our past good or bad deeds. When someone dies, their thoughts and desires create a new life, like how a new candle flame comes from another. The new life is not the same, but also not completely different.
We do good things, our next life will be happy. If we do bad things, it will be hard. Our actions today shape our future. We'll now be asking questions. So, Andrew, please ask your first question.
My first question is to Victorian is, does the soul move to a new body?
No.
That is correct. Alexander, can you please ask the next question?
Amy, is everything about a person gone after death? Well, the correct answer is no. Past actions shape the next life. Riley, please ask your question.
Victoria, what causes rebirth? Well, the answer is ignorance, desire, and action. And you can please ask the last question.
My last question is to Amy, and it is, how do actions affect future lives?
Absent.
All right. Thank you for listening.
It is now Sarah, Shinki, and Piopala's turn.
Hello, Dhamma class. My name is Sarah, and my Buddhist name is Pali, which means Shield Guardian. Today, we will be talking about something with two Dhamma friends of mine. So, Shinki, please introduce yourself.
Hello, Mingalawa. My name is Shinki. My Buddhist name is Ekapalat, which means the power of energy. And I live in Colorado. So, Biapalat, will you please introduce yourself?
Hi, Dhamma class. My name is Kan Hong, and my Buddhist name is Biapala, which means power of love. So, Sarah, what will we be sharing today?
Today, we will be talking about becoming a better person. We'll also be asking questions in the end, so everyone please listen carefully. Journey to a better person. The Buddha taught that 5 things help someone who wants to improve and grow. Faith. The person believes in Buddha's wisdom and goodness. Good health. They are often not sick and have a balanced body that helps them work hard.
Honesty. They are truthful and open, sharing their thoughts and actions with their teacher and wise friends. Effort. They work hard to give up bad habits and develop good ones, staying strong and determined.
Wisdom. They understand how things change and learn in a way that helps them be free from suffering. These 5 things help someone on their journey to becoming a better person. So now we'll be asking questions. So Sarah, can you please ask your first question?
My first question is to Gina Bala, and it is, what is faith?
Believe in the Buddha's wisdom and goodness.
That is correct, Shushinki. Please ask the next question.
Yixing, why is health important?
It helps a person work hard.
So that is correct. So Biapala, will you ask your question?
Gina Bala, what does honesty mean?
Being truthful and open.
That is correct. So Sarah, can you please ask the last question?
My last question is to Qixing, and it is, how does wisdom help?
It frees one from suffering.
That is correct, and that is all. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for watching.
It is now Juju and Hazel's turn.
Hello, Dhamma class. My name is Juju, and my Buddhist name is Janapali, which means keeper of all human beings. So today, me and my dear Dhamma friend Hazel will be sharing something with the Dhamma class today. So Hazel, could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Hazel, and my Buddhist name is Rupa Pali, which means beauty keeper. So, Juju, what will we be talking about today?
So today we'll be talking about DT. So everybody please listen carefully because we'll be asking questions at the end. So I'll start. DT or wrong view. Wrong view means seeing things the wrong way or believing something false is true. It happens when someone thinks something exists when it doesn't, something exists when it does, some wrong things are right and that right things are wrong.
Examples of wrong views: believing a creator made the world when there is none, thinking a soul, atta, exists in people when it does not, saying good and bad actions have no results when they do, denying rebirth when beings are reborn many times, rejecting nibbana, the end of suffering, when it exists.
Some wrong views come from false beliefs, like thinking animal sacrifices are good or that bathing in a river removes bad deeds.
A mind full of wrong views is called dita jita, and a person who strongly holds them is micha diti. We will now be asking questions. So, Juju, please ask the first question.
My first question is for Lin, which is, what is DT?
It is believing something is false, is true, or seeing things the wrong way.
That is correct, thank you. And Hazel, could you please ask your question?
My question is for Tenzin, and it is, what are examples of wrong views?
Denying rebirth, rejecting nibbana, or believing in a creator when there is none.
That is correct. Juju, please ask the next question.
My next question is for Lin, which is, what causes wrong views?
False beliefs like thinking sacrifices or rituals remove bad deeds.
That is correct, thank you. And Hazel, could you please ask the last question?
My question is for Tensen, and it is, what is a Micha DT?
A person who strongly holds wrong views.
That is correct. That is all, and thank you for listening.
It is now Sumya Pit and Minta Joel's turn.
Hi to my class, my name is Min, and my Buddhist name is Ayubala, which means the power of longer life. And today we'll be doing another discussion, and I'll be joined by Sumya. So Sumya, please introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, my name is Sumya Pei. My Buddhist name is Jita Bali, which means regarder of mind. So, man, what are we talking about today?
So today we'll be talking about Isa. What is Isa, which also means envy. And please listen carefully because we'll be asking questions at the end. So envy is when we feel upset because someone has something we want, like being smarter, richer, or better at something. Sometimes people say hurtful things because of that envy or jealousy.
Envy often happens when we do the same things. For example, a baker might feel jealous of another baker but not a doctor. Even monks and teachers can feel envy. When we are jealous and we say mean things, we only hurt ourselves. Wise people know that envy brings unhappiness.
And there's also a story about envy, which is a lion lived in a glowing green cave. Nearby, some hogs were upset and blamed the light for their problems. They tried to cover the cave with mud, but the cave only shined brighter.
This story shows that when we try to bring others down because of envy, we don't hurt them, we only make their success stand out more. Instead of being jealous, we should be happy for others. We'll now be asking questions, so my first question is to Olente, and it is, what is envy?
Envy is feeling upset because someone else has something we want.
That is correct, thank you. So, Min, can you please ask your question?
My question is to Mary. Who do we usually envy?
We envy people who do the same things as us.
That is great, thank you. And Sumepe, please ask your next question.
My next question is to Olente, and it is, what did the hogs try to do in the story?
They tried to cover the glowing cave with mud.
That is correct, thank you.
And Mary, what is the lesson of the story?
Envy hurts us more than others and makes their success shine even more.
That is great, thank you. And thank you everyone for listening, and thank you Sumepe for joining me.
Now Tiffany, Shinta, and Noel's turn.
Hello, Dhamma class. My name is Tiffany, and my Buddhist name is Santa Bali, which means peacekeeper. My dear friends Shinta and Noel will be joining me, so please introduce yourselves.
Hello class, my name is Shinta. My Buddhist name is Moka Bali, which means freedom keeper. So Noel, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Noah and my Buddhist name is Wanapala, which means power personality. So Tiffany, what are we sharing today?
We will be talking about the four ultimate truths, so please listen carefully because we'll be asking questions at the end. The four ultimate truths. What does ultimate mean? In Pali, paramata means something that stays the same in its true nature. It doesn't change no matter where or in whom it appears.
What are the four ultimate truths? Mind, jita, our awareness or consciousness. Mental factors, cheta sikas. Feelings and thoughts like kindness or anger. Matter, rupa, the physical world, including our bodies. Nibbana, the only absolute reality behind suffering and change.
How do they stay the same? Some mental factors like greed, lobha, and anger, dosa, never change their nature. Greed is always greed, whether in a kind person, a bad person, or even an animal. Anger is always anger, no matter who feels it.
Everything in the world has its own true nature. By understanding this, we can better recognize our own thoughts and feelings, as well as those of others. Now we'll be asking questions. So, Shin, that was your first question.
My first question is to Emma. What are the four ultimate truths?
They are mind, chitta, mental factors, cetasikas, matter, rupa, and nibbana.
That's correct. Thank you. Noah, what's your question?
My question to Susan is, what is mind, Cheetah?
It is our awareness, how we think and know things.
Yes, that is correct.
My question is to Hima, and what is special about Nibbana?
Nibbana is beyond suffering and change. It is perfect peace.
Yes, that's correct.
My last question is to Susan. Why are these truths called ultimate?
Because they never change no matter where or in whom they appear.
That's correct. Thank you for listening.
It is now Chloe, Xingling, and Mason D's turn.
Hello, Mangalaba. My name is Chloe Chang, and my Buddhist name is Diti Bali, which means keeper of wisdom. I live in Chino Hills, California. So today, my two dear Dhamma friends will be joining me, so Xingling, please introduce yourself.
Hello, Minglaba. My name is Shinki Ling, and my Buddhist name is Ria Bali, which means brave keeper. I live in Colorado, so Mason Lee, please introduce yourself.
Hello, Mangalaba. My name is Mason D. My Buddha name is Lokapala, which means guardian of the world. I live in Puerto Vaca, Texas. So, Chloe, what will we be talking about today?
We'll be talking about the Buddha Sasana era, so I'll go first. Please listen carefully because we will be asking some questions at the end. Buddha Sasana era. The Buddha Sasana era started in the year the Buddha passed away. The calendar most people use today is based on the birth of Jesus Christ and is called AD, Anno Domini, which means year of the Lord. The years before Jesus was born are called BC, before Christ.
The Buddha was born in 623 BC. This is when the Buddha Sasana era or BE began. To find the current year in the BE, we add 543 to the current AD year.
For example, the year 2025 AD plus 543 equals 2568. So the current Buddha Sasana era year is 2568. Many Theravada Buddhist countries such as Thailand, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Laos, and Cambodia use this system today.
However, some modern scholars believe that the Buddha was actually born in 563 BC, which is 60 years later than the traditional belief. So now we'll be asking questions. So Xingling, please ask your first question.
My first question is to Jewel. When did the Buddha Sasana era start?
It started in the year Buddha passed away, 543 BC.
That is correct. So, Chloe, please ask your next question.
My next question is to Lara. And what is the AD calendar based on?
It is based on the birth of Jesus Christ.
That is correct. So, Mason D, please ask your next question.
So, Joel, how do you find the current year in the Buddha Sasana era?
You add 543 to the current AD year.
Yes, that's correct. So, Chloe, please ask your last question.
My last question is to Lyra again. And do all scholars agree on the Buddha's birth year?
No. Some scholars believe he was born in 563 BC.
That is correct. That is all, and thank you for listening.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for listening and watching.
It is now the Zenjo, Su Al, and Hela Alm's turn.
Hello, Mingalaba Dhamma class. My name is Thazanjo, but my Buddhist name is Janapali, which means power of concentration. Today, me and a few Dhamma friends will be discussing something. So, Suong, could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, Mingalaba. My name is Su and my Buddhist name is Chagabali, which is protector of Dhamma. Now, Hila, may you please introduce yourself?
Hello, Dhamma class. My name is Hein Leong, and my Buddhist name is Sukapala, which means power of happiness. So, the Zincho, what will we be talking about today?
We will be talking about the sixth great victory of the Buddha. Everyone, please listen carefully because we will be asking a couple questions in the end. I will start us off. The great victory over ascetic Saccaka. The wandering ascetic Saccaka was a teacher in Vesali, teaching the Lichawi princes. He learned many beliefs from his parents and loved to argue about them, calling himself wise. Everyone feared his criticisms. Even those who claimed to be Buddhas were silenced by him.
When he heard about the Buddha's teaching on anatta, no soul, from Thera Asaji, he challenged the Buddha to a debate. He boasted to the Lichawi princess, "Come quickly. Today I will shake Gautama's belief like a strong man shakes a lamb."
Saccaka went to the Buddha's monastery and asked permission to discuss anatta. He argued, all actions depend on a substantial entity called atta. This includes the body and mind, which are permanent and in control. The Buddha calmly responded, all things, including the body and mind, are impermanent and not in our control.
Saccaka disagreed, relying on the support of the princes. But the Buddha asked him directly, "Can you make your body do as you wish?" Saccaka stayed silent, realizing he was trapped. Finally, he admitted, "I cannot make my body do as I wish."
In this way, Saccaka had to admit that the body and mind are impermanent and are in our control, just as the Buddha taught.
In our Dhamma class, we chant the sixth verse of the Mahajaya Mangala Gathas. It is about the great victory over Saccaka. The verse goes as follows.
Saccam vihaya ati saccaka vada kedum vada biro pitamanam ati andabudam banya badi bajalito jitowa munendo dam tejasa pawatu de jaya mangalani.
Saccaka, who ignored truth, was like a banner of controversy, and delighting in argument had thoroughly become blind. The Lord of Sages defeated him by lighting the lamp of wisdom. By the power of this, may you have victory blessings.
We will now be asking questions. So, Hina Ao, could you please ask the first one?
The first question is for Ninye then, and it is, what did Buddha say about all things, including the body and mind?
Buddha said that everything, including our body and mind, is always changing and not in our control.
That is correct. So, Zincho, could you please ask the next question?
My next question is to Ikari, which is, why did Saccaka challenge the Buddha to a debate?
Because he heard about the Buddha's teaching on anatta, the idea that there is no permanent.
That is correct. So, Suong, could you please ask the next question?
Nini, that again. How does Saccaka finally admit the truth?
Saccaka admitted, I cannot make my body do what I want.
That is correct. Now, Hila, please ask the next question.
The last question is for Akri, and it is, how did Saccaka finally learn?
Saccaka learned that the body and mind are always changing and not in our control.
That is correct.
That is all, and thank you for listening.
We're now moving on to problem number 3, which is choose the correct one out of the given answers by Hank and Hema.
Hi, my name is Hank, and my Buddhist name is Stabala, which means the power of knowledge. Today, I'll be joined by my twin sister. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Hima, and my Buddhist name is Hemapali, which means peacekeeper.
Today, we'll be asking 14 questions to the individuals Mary, Ninetha, Maythun, Tete, Nicole, Martin, Imyet, June, Maylin, Akari, Anlinte, Xinglen, Jinabala, Snowy, William, Thiri-san, Amara, Jewel, and Lyra. To start off, Mary, when did the Buddha Sasana era start?
It started in 543 BC, the year the Buddha passed away.
That is correct. Ninetha, does the soul move to a new body?
No, there is no internal soul.
That is correct. Maythun, what causes rebirth?
Ignorance, desire, and actions.
You are correct. Tete, how do actions affect future lives?
Good deed leads to happiness, bad deed lead to hardship.
That is correct. Nicole, what is faith in Buddhism?
Percent, I think.
Well, the correct answer is belief in Buddha's wisdom and goodness. Martin, how does wisdom help?
It frees one from suffering.
That is correct. And yet, what causes wrong views? Well, the correct answer is false beliefs, like thinking sacrifices or rituals remove bad deeds. June, what is envy?
Envy is upset because someone else has something we want.
That is correct. Maylin, what is the lesson? Well, who do we usually envy?
We envy people who do the same things as us.
And that is correct.
Akari, what is the lesson of the hog story?
Envy hurts us more than others and makes their success shine even more.
That is correct. All-in-Tim, what happens if someone does little... Oh, wait. How does good karma affect rebirth? Well, the correct answer is it can lead to a better life with loving parents and comfort. Xinglan, what happens if someone does little good?
They might be born into a harder life with more struggles.
That is correct. Gina Bala, what is the lesson of karma?
Our actions today create our future happiness or suffering.
That is correct. Snowy, what are the 4 ultimate truths?
Mind, Chitta, mental factors, Cheta, Sikas, matter, Rupa, and Nibbana.
That is correct. William, when did the Buddha Sasana era start?
It started in 543 BC when the year the Buddha passed away.
That is correct. Thiri-san, does the soul move to a new body?
No, there is no internal soul.
That is correct. Amara, what causes rebirth? Well, the correct answer is ignorance, desire, and actions. Jewel and Lyra, how do actions affect future lives? Well, the correct answer is good deeds lead to happiness and bad deeds lead to hardship. Thank you for listening.
We're now moving on to program number 4, which is Meetings from Prayer Book by Rebecca and Cynthia.
Hello, Dhamma class. My name is Rebecca, and my Buddha's name is Metta Bali, which means keeper of loving kindness. Today we'll be doing translations of Disarana, Panja Sila, and Buddha Guna from Prayer Book, and my sister Cynthia will be joining me. So can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, Dhamma class. My name is Cynthia, and my Buddhist name is Magha Pali, which means keeper of the middle path. We're guesting some individuals, and they are Onete, Kama Pali, Shing Lang, Akari, Gina Bala, Midong, Grace, Hazel, Ninitan, Ting Ting, Shinki, Chloe, Kishing, Alexander, Divisan, and Mary.
First, I'll be asking the translation from Pali to English for Disarana and Panja Sila, which is page 6 and 7 in the prayer book. And if you do not have the prayer book, then it is page 3 and 4 in book 1. So please have either the prayer book or book 1 ready. Alan Tay, what is the translation for Disarana? The translation is 3 refugees. Kama Pali, what is the translation for Panadi Pada? The translation is from killing. Sheng Lang, what is the translation for Saranam?
You please repeat that?
Yes, the word is Saranam. It is in Tisarana.
Oh, does it mean Buddha?
The correct translation is for refuge. Akari, what is the translation for Viramani? The translation is to abstain. Gina Bala, what is the translation for Musawada?
From lying.
That is correct, thank you. Meidong, what is the translation for Dhammam?
To be tamed.
The correct translation is to the Dhamma. Grace, what is the translation for Sika Padam?
Could you repeat that?
Yes, the word is Sika Padam. It is in Panchasila.
Five precepts.
The translation is just precepts. Thank you. Hazel, what is the translation for Samadhiyami?
I undertake.
That is correct, thank you.
Now I'll be asking from English to Pali for Nama Buddha Guna, page 12 in prayer book, or page 4 in book 1. Nini Dam, what is the Pali word for teacher?
Sata.
That is correct. Ting Ting, what is the Pali word for fully awakened?
Samasambodo.
That is correct. Shinki, what is the Pali word for having walked the right path?
What page?
On page 4 in book 1.
Banja Silat? Is it in Banjas?
The correct answer is Sugato. Chloe, what is the Pali word for willing persons?
Can you repeat that?
Willing persons. Well, the answer is Burisa Dhamma. Qixing, what is the Pali word for endowed with?
What page?
Page 4. Well, the answer is Sampanom. Alexander, what is the Pali word for knower of the worlds?
Which one?
The word is knower of the world in Navabuddha Guna.
Is it Logawidu?
That is correct. TV-san, what is the Pali word for perfected?
Could you repeat that again?
What is the Pali word for perfected?
Araham.
That is correct. Mary, what is the Pali word for blessed?
Bhagawa.
That is correct.
That is all for translations of prayer book, and thank you for participating.
We're now moving on to program number 5 called Answer the Questions by the Central.
Hello, Minglaba Dhamma class. My name is Thazancha, but my Buddhist name is Jana Bali, which means power of concentration. Today I will be asking a few individuals some questions, so everyone please have the correct files open and ready. So, Snowy, how do you chant metta meditation on yourself?
Aham avarohomi avyapadahomi anigohomi sukhi atanam pariharami.
That is correct. Thank you. Brian, how do you chant metta meditation on your parents?
Mama mata pitu awira hontu apyapaja hontu aniga hontu sukhiyatanan pariharantu.
That is correct. Thank you. So, Shinling, how do you chant metta meditation on your relatives and friends?
Avera hontu, apyapacha hontu, anika hontu, sukiyatanam pariharantu.
Close, but it was the third one. Thank you for trying, though. So, Mathing, how do you chant metta meditation on your Dhamma class?
Sabramajarinacha. Wait.
Keep going, you're correct.
Awera hontu, apyabaja hontu, anika hontu, sukyatanam barikarantu.
That is correct. Thank you. Thing Thing, what is Buddhism? Please answer in Bali and English.
Sapa papasa akanam. Not to do any evil. Kusalasa upasabada. To practice good. Sajita pariyodapana. To perfect one mind. Itam Buddha Sasanam. This is the teaching of Buddha.
That is correct. Thank you. And Nyambong Tet, how do you chant metta meditation on yourself?
Aham aveva homi, apyabaja homi, anika homi, sukhiyatanan pariharami.
That is correct. Thank you. And that is all for today. So,
We are now at the end of the Dhamma class, so everyone please put your hands together and recite Buddha Sasanam Chiram Didatu 3 times. Buddha Sasanam Chiram Didatu. May the Buddha's teachings last long. Buddha Sasanam Chiram Didatu. May the Buddha's teachings last long. Buddha, Sadhanam, Chiram, Hidaju. May the Buddha's teachings last long. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. That is all. Thank you for coming.
Jesuit